Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our webinar by Intellectsoft. Today's topic is the future of FinTech, insights, trends, and use cases defining the industry in the next year. We are going to outline the current state of FinTech during COVID-19 and recent innovations that our company has built for our clients from this vertical. I am Diana, and I represent Intellectsoft Digitalization Services, and I will be your webinar moderator today. I will also be accompanied by my colleague Tim.
Hi everyone, my name is Tim. I'm one of the solution architects here at Intellectsoft, and my specializations are mobile solutions, web-based platforms, and also everything that is related to blockchain technologies. Today I'll help you to discover all of our case studies, technologies, approaches we use in our company, and also will direct you in how to approach your next FinTech solution. So stay with us until the end of the webinar.
Guys, before we start, please note that you can leave all your questions in the Q&A section. Please note that there is chat section as well. It allows you and us to communicate during this webinar, while the public Q&A section is designed to answer and upvote each other's question. We will make sure to cover all of them during the Q&A session at the end of the webinar. If we won't be able to process all questions due to lack of time or any other reasons, we will send detailed answer via emails after the webinar. So let me begin with a short overview of our company before we start talking about details in this industry. So Intellectsoft was founded in 2007, and since then has grown to a full-fledged boutique digital transformation consultancy that provides cutting-edge engineering solutions for global organizations, software development services, and emerging technology solutions. Our mission is to provide enterprises and startups with extended technological capabilities to overcome challenges on their digital transformation roadmap. Our headquarters is located in States, and our delivery centers are located in Eastern Europe. We also have an onshore sales and consultancy presence all over Western Europe and the US. Over 13 years, Intellectsoft has built a strong customer portfolio that includes world brands from both Fortune 500 enterprises and startups that are on the way to becoming unicorns. Here you can see some of our big names. Our portfolio is really big, and it includes a number of E&C companies for which we completed numerous projects, starting with simple mobile development up to carrying out complex IT infrastructure organization and integrations. Over the years, we have got awarded and recognized for our technological excellence and capabilities to deliver qualitative solutions for customers from such verticals as construction, hospitality, financials, and healthcare. So let's move on to the topic of our webinar. And today we will start with overviewing the most crucial transformation trends and areas in the FinTech domain. We will also cover the ways how the FinTech organizations get digitally transformed in a few practical use cases. I want to start with a small engagement. So I'm curious if you're already planning to digitize some of the process in your business. I will start poll, and I will ask you to answer a simple question. If you're going through digital transformation, or in the process of planning one, please answer yes. If you're not there yet, just answer no. And please answer don't know if you're not sure about the company's strategy. I will give you some time. I can see that some of you already answered it. Awesome. Guys, thank you for your answer. And let's continue with the webinar. I want to start with a quick overview of emerging FinTech trends that are most likely to impact FinTech businesses in 2021. Here we can see the top 5 trends, among which are big data and analytics, cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, cloud computing, and IoT. One way or another, the average usage of fintech solutions worldwide is anticipated only to keep going up. Therefore, it's high time companies operating in the financial technology sector and developing innovative technological solutions picked up momentum, found their niche, and empowered their business with one or a number of the fintech trends we are about to discuss. Speaking about the fintech market's largest segments, digital payments score first with a total transaction value of around 5 trillion this year. Due to the major differences in fintech's products KPIs, for example, like different nature of loan origination volume in alternative lending in comparison to assets under management in robo-advisors, no total transaction value for all segments can be calculated. Even before the pandemic, global investment in financial technology had been increasing. For example, last year it reached $150 billion, though it slowed down to $25 billion in the first half of this year due to, again, to pandemic. But even in such realities, we can see realistically that everyone expects an uprise up to 3 billion next year. Now, let's move on to our topic, like 5 promising fintech trends for the next year. And we will also tell you about our use cases there. One of the main trends is online banking. So I wanted to discuss it with you first of all. It's something that we already use in our daily life. We found also some statistics, like 73% of all respondents globally use online banking at least once a month, compared to 59% who use mobile banking apps. Moreover, no generational differences in how frequently online banking is used. Baby boomers use online banking just as often as tech-savvy millennials. Right now, we can see that even baby boomers are willing to change their bank if other one has a better mobile platform. We have experience developing online banking systems from zero, and Tim will tell you about one in details.
Thank you, Diana. I'm really happy to share this project with you. So this one is a mobile bank we created for one of our clients from United Kingdom. So the idea was to create a new type of a bank without actual branches and also include all of the latest technologies from performance, scalability, and security standpoint. The interesting thing is that the blockchain is at the heart of the system. So all of the master transactions are stored in private blockchain network based off IBM Hyperledger. And also the backend configuration is microservices architecture, and it's very scalable, resilient, and very applicable for banking realities. As usual, for this type of platform, there are a lot of telemetrics around the infrastructure to make sure that everything works and scales properly. And there are a lot of integrations done. So the core banking systems connected, payment card providers also here, so we can create virtual and physical cards. KYC and IML services connected, and also the software for the reports to the regulators. The app itself is packed with the latest biometrics technologies. So we used multiple strategies in different cases. So for example, we're required to go through an extra biometric check that is done on the server to authorize new devices. And when it's done, we use on-device biometric sensors to confirm transactions. Yeah, this is it.
Thank you, Tim. I guess you will all agree that it would be hard to imagine mobile payments without special wallets. So this is our next trend that I wanted to discuss with you. As the mobile payments market has already jumped to $142 billion by last year, it expects to grow even more, up to $190 billion by next year. The main driving factors for mobile payments awareness and adoption are better security, convenience, and bigger demand for mobile shopping. We call it like mobile commerce. The graph here shows the increment of mobile payments transaction volume in the US alone. You can see the history from 2015 to the proximal value in the next year. Tim will tell you more about the wallet we have developed for our client right now.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, so along with conventional banking, we also have a lot of experience in building mobile wallets. We started working with blockchain technology back in 2015, I guess. And at that time, Ethereum was still in plans. um, uh, from that time, we've basically built multiple solutions based on Bitcoin and Ethereum, and also different Ethereum contract standards like ERC20, ERC 721. And of course, all of them were packed with a strong encryption, great user experience. For example, one of the wallets, we've built a proximity transactions algorithm where wallets were exchanging public keys without direct interactions to create like a maximum anonymity in this network. The functionality of these apps is pretty standard. So you can store accounts, you can register new accounts, you can send and receive funds, you can back up your keys in a different ways. But the real benefit is that this kind of wallets leverage direct ownership of assets connected to it. Because of this key strategy with a strong encryption techniques, only you who have access to this cryptographic materials can perform blockchain transactions. So it's pretty unique, and the real challenge is really to keep it, like all of this tech, really simple and at the same time secure. We also use this concept in other fields. So we have another use case that I will present later today.
Thank you, Tim. It's also good that you have mentioned our experience with cryptocurrencies. It won't be breaking news for anyone here in our auditorium to hear that global blockchain market size expected to grow and expected to grow, talking about numbers from $3 billion this year to $39 billion by 2025. So it's really an impressive compound annual growth rate, around like more than 65% during just 5 years. Talking about blockchain usage in Europe, it's shifted dramatically to payments. Like 33% percent of organizations already using it. Data access and sharing, like 30%. Identity protection, again 30%. And data reconciliation, 29%. We also can see that the new trend, however, is decentralized finance, or DeFi. It's about creating autonomous protocols, we call it like set of rules, for money to operate. No trusted party is needed. The hottest topic is lending, namely yield farming. Actually, we have one project we have worked on from this sphere. Tim, please tell us more about it.
Okay, yeah, so this year can be called a year of stable coins and tokenization. Compared to previous year, the supply of the most popular USD-backed token was grown from like 5 times in size. But the stable coins also can be backed by other commodities like silver and gold. And we had a pretty exciting project about precious metals tokenizations for one of the mining companies from Australia. The idea behind it was to create tokenized gold that is going through like a mining processing stages, and enable direct access to the gold in the early stages. So the unique and very interesting fact about the gold is that all gold is always sold upfront for a couple of years because of the huge demand. And with this platform, mining company clients could also use gold before it really gets to the security storage facility. Of course, it's not just like we have a token and it's just equal to 1 gram of gold and that's it. We had a pretty complex token economy inside of the system, and we had like a different stages, different types of a token, and a token. First, it was like a future gold, and then at some point, it became real gold. And also, the system has a lot of integrations, and of course, custom blockchain platform inside. Here we used PostChain. It was very great experience because it's compared to like conventional blockchains. This one is SQL based, so you can treat it as a very secure SQL database. The system was accessible from the web, and also it has dedicated dashboards for mining, processing, and storage companies. So on each stages, this parties were assigning that they received this amount of gold in this form, and then on the final stage, the storage company would say, I have received this amount of gold bricks, and then the system then would distribute it to the token holders, and then at this point convert the tokens from the future gold to the real gold. Yeah, that's it.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you, Tim. Now let me ask our audience another question regarding technologies they consider implementing first in their companies. So, what technology do you consider to implement first in your company? You can choose whatever technology or how many of them you like, or maybe you heard. So if you're using or planning to use big data analysis, just choose this one: cybersecurity, computer vision, automatization, cloud computing, IoT, blockchain, location-based solutions, or maybe other. You can choose whatever you like, and I'll be really grateful for your answers. Okay, I can see that some of you already answered it. Thank you for all your answers. And now it's my pleasure to move on to the next slide. And here I will tell, we will talk more about AI. It's not only my personal belief that the future is already here and we will all use AI in every industry, but talking about artificial intelligence in FinTech, it will change the market significantly. FinTech market already adopt basic AI and analytics tools, mostly in area of machine learning, like traditional AI. It's around 2/3 of potential revenue. Also, financial products driven by advanced AI-driven tools will be accountable for more than 5% of global banking revenue in the next year, which is still $360 billion market. AI technologies also can help to boost revenues through increased personalization services. It can help lower costs through efficiencies, and it can help uncover new and previously unrealized opportunities. In this infographic, you can see total cost savings for banks using chatbots and cost savings for insurers using chatbots to process claims. It also shows that successful banking-related chatbot interactions will grow by 3,000% between this year and 2023. Banks will save 826 million hours through chatbot interactions in 2023 through customer interactions automation, and 79% of successful chatbot interactions will be through mobile banking applications in 3 years. Now I want to talk more about, it's not like philosophy question, but bank of the future, but we can see that banks are under like huge pressure in the age of digitalization, so they need to be changed to stay updated. As I mentioned before, AI is already used by many of them, but in some areas it's really crucial, like credit decision making. For example, during COVID, many people lost their jobs and they couldn't open a credit card. AI in one platform can utilize thousands of data points and provides transparency that other underwriting systems cannot, which helps lenders better access populations traditionally considered at risk. So it can basically save someone's life. We also can see the benefits of AI usage in customer acquisition. Like consumers want to believe that they are unique and important to their financial institution. They don't want to be forced to use a specific channel simply because it's easier for their bank or credit union. So it will help to suggest the best packages or like to choose the best provider. And also my personal belief that we will all use wearables soon, like rings, so we can pay anytime, anywhere. And talking about bank of the future, I couldn't talk about it without mentioning truly personalized customer experience, just because it's really important. Individualized experiences will allow to use consumer data to remove noise from experiences, increasing relevance and speeding customer access to desired functionality and content. I can easily imagine how we can pay, for shoes only while smiling, like improvement for payment. Facial mimics will help customer officers to faster solve issues that you have faced with their product. We already, talking about biometric, we already using this technology in our daily life, thanks to iPhones, but it will be also a general thing everywhere, and it can help us to secure our data easily. And Tim will tell you more about our experience with processing of documents right now.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, the interesting thing is that AI is not just about like analytics and big numbers. It also has something to do with the images and images processing. And the big thing is that all of the companies nowadays want to go paperless and fully digital, but the paper still is required in some cases to provide proof of different transactions. And we helped one of our clients from China to dramatically improve checks and claims processing by introducing OCR technology based on latest machine learning techniques. So we built a solution in form of a mobile application with comprehensive backend processing. And this allowed them to, instead of like going through the check manually, allowed them to scan a check and this standard forms and perform like a different cross checks inside of the document or check, and also like go to some governmental registries to check on the fraud or something. Also, we did like a comparison of the signs from the forms to to the previous signs, like a different cross-field validation, so that the timestamps are valid and they are consistent through the document, and also did some checks on the frauds list. And the thing is that we've been able to speed up the process of basically spending like a half an hour to process the form to a really seconds, and almost completely mitigated the human input error factor in this process. Yeah, it was a very interesting and challenging project for us.
Thank you, Tim. It sounded like really challenging project, and it's cool that you have mentioned it. But now I wanted to move on to the last trend for today. It's trading. The trading landscape has certainly evolved over the years, with the number of electronic trading platforms, trading apps, and service providers growing at an exponential rate. The trend is about to explode. Just during last year, global stock markets gained $17 trillion in value, indicating clear opportunities for success. Ultimately, it all comes down to having the right knowledge to get started the right way, see through the trading scams, and make trading decisions that are actually profitable. For example, we had a client who is a venture capital firm specializing in growth capital and late stage startup investments. It was not just a firm, but part of multinational holding conglomerate operating over $100 billion investments in the businesses and technologies. As a part of company's digital transformation journey, a client asked Intellectsoft to analyze and replace its current ecosystem of Excel sheets without a centralized repository and unified access by modern data hub platform. They wanted to finally switch it as they needed a tool that will help them optimize their strategies and high-loaded investments that were going to like big amounts on different portfolios. We have developed mobile and web applications for the client's analytical team and also for their C-level management. We have built it from zero. It provides in-depth analysis of the client's portfolio and investors' companies, along with statistics about investments, fund, valuations, and all this stuff. With its help, users have a quick on-demand access to relevant data, which is updated regularly. Now, as we discussed all trends, let's move on to the next section of our webinar. And let me continue with another multiple choice poll. I'm curious, let me launch it. And right now, I'm curious which of these use cases best fit for your company's current challenges. Is it digital or mobile wallets? Maybe AI-driven systems or platforms? Or online banking? General digitalization? Maybe other, or maybe you don't know what is the best fit. I can see someone already answered them. Awesome, guys. Thank you for your answers. And we are going to proceed with the final section. We call it like the digital strategy for your next FinTech solution.
Okay, thank you, Diana. As you can see, we have a lot of experience in building digital solutions in different industries, and it may seem very challenging to start a new project because it includes a lot of aspects, starting from the business flows to security, compliances, and also like a technical stack, infrastructure, how you deploy and build all of this. But it's a pretty common thing for us because we do it all of the times when we start a new project. And it basically is integral part of our processes. And to structurize it even more, we've developed like our own framework that helps us to assess the project from different angles and perspectives. And we call it a discovery workshop. And it can go as a separate activity or together with a project at the project start. And the goal of this phase is usually to define an existing and desired business processes, identify technical and architectural limitations, um, maybe create an initial version of the architecture, like transform business requirements to functional requirements, and basically create a project plan with a backlog, with a different definition of risks, budgeting, and the full release strategy. And this is basically a pack of different standardized documentation that we use. It can be used for us for the start of the project, or you can take it and use it whatever you want. So this process usually consists of like 3 basic steps, and we usually distribute it between 3 weeks. And the first one is usually like a week of knowledge transfer, where we have like a dedicated team of business analysts, solution architects, and some other people if it's relevant. And we have like a study, we have like a knowledge transfer, all of the state of affairs, the documentation that is required or already have, or the main ideas. Like we have a lot of sessions like for it. And in the end of this week, we have like a pretty clear understanding about the situation with this project or process. And where it wants to go, or how the concept looks like. And the second week, and before the pandemic, it was usually on site. So we like sit down on the round table and like talk about the concept or how it should look like in the end, like down to the ground, to the particular features. And usually the team is extended with additional members, and usually it's like a part of the team that would execute the project or participate in a project or, in some way. And in the end of this week, we have like a approved, finalized, maybe feature list with a different prioritization. We have like a different research is done that was required to clarify some risks or assumptions. And we have like a top technical decisions made at this stage. And the third, or in some cases, it may take more weeks depending on the size and deliverables, because in some cases we can, at the end of the third phase, we can provide or create a prototype, like a very, very rough but working solution that would basically be a proof of concept that this idea is working, and then it will be like a foundation for the project itself. So basically the third part is the part where we create all of this documentation at the detailed level. So usually it's like essential parts is like the prioritized features with the user stories, high-level architecture of all system, like a whole system, and maybe some additional architectures for like a particular parts of the system. Maybe we should have like a special agent or maybe some processing part. So we would have like a separate architecture for it. We also have like a project plan with the team, sprints, milestones, and of course like a risks and budgeting. And this one is really helpful because anyway, we perform this with all of the incoming projects that have like they that don't have like all of this already on board, or they don't have even like a clear idea of what they want. And in the end of this process, it is like 100% that will clarify what is possible to build, what technologies do we use, and when it can be done, like in the first iteration, and in a complete shape of it.
Thank you, Tim. It was like really helpful, and thank you for insights and sharing your experience. I want to sum up. So as we can see, there are a lot of challenges around digital transformation in the fintech industry. So it should be considering a variety of technologies, use cases, and solutions. And Intellectsoft has a strong domain expertise for advising the right solutions to solve particular business challenges and avoid pitfalls while delivering and deploying them. Before we enter the webinar, we have several questions from the audience to answer. And by the way, please feel free to add new questions through the chat as well. So I guess I will answer the first question from the audience. Okay, here's one. How much time does it take to transform an old legacy banking system into a new one? Do you remember how Tim was telling that usually discovery phase is taken up to 3 weeks? Okay, here, forget about it. Usually discovery phase in such kind of projects is taken up to 2 months. We really suggest and always tell that we prefer to invest more time and efforts in the first stage so we can avoid any failures in the future. We need to double check the legacy code if everything is working fine. You know, most of the banking systems were written around like 50 years ago, and people are coming to us with cobalt systems. And it's really good that these days we have a lot of clients who are coming to us and they want to renovate their core systems. So if like long story short, talking about timeline for such kind of project, if you have core system that you want to rewrite totally, it can take up to, I guess, 2 years, but we need to double check everything and double check the system, how it looks like. And we suggest to start with the discovery phase. I guess I answered it. Please also like feel free to add questions. I can see also a question from the audience. Do you have an experience creating Robinhood-like solutions? Maybe Tim will answer it.
Okay. Pretty good one. As a technical person, I would always look at things from features, technologies, and like integrations perspective. So Robinhood is has a lot. So it's like a gold trading, it's stock trading. It also has like a card payments and crypto, and also like a lot of things that comes with it. So the worldwide coverage, KYC, IML checks, and also like a different viewports of it. So the mobile apps, web platforms, it should support everything and work on every device in a different conditions. So we, as Intellectsoft, I don't think we have experience building something exactly like Robinhood, but we definitely built some of the features it has in our past projects. So the answer is this is like a pretty challenging, but we definitely can build some similar service of similar scale.
We also have one more question, and let's see who can answer it. Have you heard about open finance and have you worked with it already? I guess I can answer it. Well, I'm an early adopter myself of everything. And I have lived in several different countries. So I personally felt, this pain of opening new bank account everywhere, closing previous one. And I always believed that 1 year, it won't be a problem anymore. So it's just a question of time or like a second to transit all data from my previous bank to new one. We are lucky to have clients from all the world. And talking about this UK initiative of open finance, it's like a logic continuation to PSD2 in Europe. And I guess we have worked with both of them. So it won't be a challenge for us in case you need to use it in your project. So please feel free to contact me if you have like maybe challenging in implementing it, we can help you. And there is also one more question. We have 20 plus successful trading strategies and we would like to transform it to a service. What is the preliminary cost for such solution? Team was working on one of such projects, so I guess team, please answer it. You have estimated it not so long time ago.
Yeah. By the way, I'm one of the solution architects that are engaged in our pre-sales activities, so I know a lot about like this onboarding and estimations and all of it. So yeah, so the trading strategies, trading bots is a pretty popular request right now, I would say. And it is clear because like it becomes more and more common activity for our lives. And Robinhood question is pretty good proof of it. It's still a good idea to expose your strategies to more people by turning it into an online service. And estimation depends on like a different factors. It may be like a strategy's complexity and maybe a form in which you want to shape it. Is it like a web, mobile, both platforms, one platform, or maybe it should be like a completely API based, or maybe it is like a trading bot um, for some particular exchange or for different exchanges. So yeah, it depends. The estimation is depends, but if you have a clear understanding of how it should look like and the strategies work, we can come up with some version in 4 or 5 months with like a medium-sized team.
Oh, thank you, team. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your questions. I believe that it's time for the wrap up. Unfortunately, we won't be able to cover all of your questions during this session. However, we will send detailed answers to all of you, so don't worry and just check your inboxes later on. If you still have some questions, feel free to communicate your opinion or you have, again, project to discuss. Please do not hesitate to contact me directly using the contact info on the slide. We'd love to hear your thoughts and feedback. Thank you for your time and stay tuned for the new activities from Intellectsoft. Goodbye.